Ah, hello, spectators. Welcome back to my little reading of My Little Dashie. And coming along pretty okay. I'm talking about my reading, not the story. The story's coming along great. Alright. The rain is picking up as my shirt is now soaking wet. I'm sure I will be sick tomorrow morning, but I don't care. I've been sick for 3 days now, a mental illness that has been tearing me apart. My daughter is somewhere out there, hurting, needing some comfort and warmth in this rain. I wish I could be there for her, even though she may not want me to. She may not ever want to see me again for how she acted. I don't blame her. It must be such a horrible thing finding out about your past like that. I can't even imagine what it would be like. I know Dashie is a strong man. She can pull through. But I also know that she holds a grudge at times. I'm not sure of that. Even if she did come back, she would ever forgive me. Or more importantly, if I could ever forgive myself. Now, it's now pouring out here. The trees are barely holding. Sorry. Shit. Lost my place again. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. World record for losing a place. The trees are barely holding up against the torrential rain as I'm hammered by the water droplets. I stop to look around and find my bearings to return home. I'm not lost. Most of this area is easy to traverse once you get used to it. It's just I'm also looking for Dashie as I walk. It's the reason why I'm walking in the forest in the first place. I press on, keeping a steady pace through the rain. Suddenly, I spy a large, thick tree. Its structure stuck out amongst the rest, and from looking at the barely wet grass underneath, I can tell its many branches are holding back even in this hard rain. I need to take a break, so I walk over to the tree and sat down. The grass is barely wet, with only a few small droplets making their ways down. This is the kind of tree I'd imagine Dash would hide under in this rain. I wish it could be true, but I saw no sign of her as I approached. I close my eyes and lean against the tree hulk as I think about my life, our life, together as father and daughter. We have grown so much as a family, and have been fortunate enough to have very few fights. None of them were as heartbreaking as the one 3 days ago. I feel a tear running down my cheek as I imagine Dashie's face again. The anger in her eyes, mixed with confusion, that tears me apart. I want so badly to make things right, or go back in time and stop it from happening, but I can't do either of those. What's done is done. I'm so sorry. I speak out loud, not caring for anyone is listening. I'm alone in these woods, besides the wildlife. In this rain, they are all hiding as well, and the ones that aren't are far from a being such as I. I'm just so sorry, Dashie. I continue to cry as I keep my eyes closed and lean against the tree. The rain continues to pour on me. An occasional drop hits my head, but I don't care. Crack! I open my eyes from the sudden sound. I look to my left. I'm shocked at what I see before me. Looking at me with teary eyes herself, Dashie, my little Dashie, covered in burns and tree sap along her mane and tail, and is standing a couple feet from me. She is wet, from both the rain and her tears. I hadn't heard her approach. Then again, being a Pegasus, she was very quiet and light on her hooves. She didn't speak. and instead walks over to me, not caring what noises she makes under her hooves. I don't move. I just sit on the ground and watch with my own wet eyes. She looks so horrible, and yet so beautiful at the same time. Her coat would need a good cleaning, but that was the least of my worries. Without a word, she sits next to me, not making eye contact as she looks off into the woods. I can only look at her, wishing to hug her tightly and never let go, but I hold back, knowing that it would be too sudden. Finally, she's the first to speak. I heard you. Her voice then got quiet as she whispered, and I'm sorry too. I simply smiled through my tears. Her stubborn attitude was still showing as she always had difficulties apologizing. Dashie, you have nothing to be sorry about. This is my fault. Simple as that. It seems my point doesn't get across as she finally looks at me with a sorrowful face. Dad, do you still love me? Now is the time to act. I reach over and grab her, hold her in a tight hug. Of course, Dashie. Of course, Dashie. I've always loved you, and I still love you, no matter what. Not even small fights such as ours could ever change that. Aww. She returns a hug as we sit there crying together. We continue to apologize, me for the truth and her for raising her voice and storming out. After some time, the rain subsides while we remain under the tree. Dad? Can we go home now? I need a shower. Bad. I let out a chuckle and she laughs too as I stand. We make our trip back home. She is smiling again. And I am too. Lost my place. I've been giving it some thought, and I think I should have I shall give her her birthday present a little early. A ticket to the Indy 500. Yes, I'm taking her to the Indy 500. She can simply sit on some clouds and watch while I'm in the stands. I didn't even have to get her a ticket, but she needs some sort of reminder of her visit. I'm sure she will have a blast, and though I didn't expect this to make everything right, I can only hope it cheers her up some. With some time, I'm sure she will relax and settle down about her being in the cartoon. She's a smart mare, and knows she is real, not a made-up pony from a cartoon. I can only help push her to believing that, and hope she does the same to me. There's a point in every parent's life when they have to let their child go. Aww. Whether it be for the better or for the worst. But it must happen at some point. I now sit in my living room by myself, sulking under photographs and the distinct memories of me and Dashie. On her 20th birthday, I had planned a special outing to see a flight show. As we prepared to leave, there was a knock on the door. Never in the years we have lived here, never in the years have we lived there had anyone knocked on our door. Hell, we hadn't even made arrangements if someone did show up. I simply told her to go to her room while I took care of it. Once I heard her door shut, calmly and collectively, I asked who it was knocking. Expecting some stranger probably got lost on his or her travels, a female voice spoke in such elegance yet attention-grabbing tone. Well, I kind of fucked that up, so